Good afternoon. I am Gloria Clay, and this is my story, the story of the people. The root of the story has its deed, and the deed altered by a bank, holding our money and then registered by the recorder of deeds. This sociological study and the drive of my motivation has proven many theories, this giving our future sociologists lots of material to work with that has been scientifically proven, making only their own signatures of validation, their gift of opportunity. The grant money of $999,999.99 is ready to be judged by 6 of the people in the state of New York, in the civil court of the city of New York, in the county of Kings, as soon as the clerk of the court schedules that hearing. Meantime, I'm without my $85 filing fee for the clerk of the court to do as my and all of our filing fees are paid to do. And this has violated the Code of Civil Procedure, as well as the due process clauses in the state and federal law. Because of the fact that my filed answer and damages asked for was $999,999.99. Who's to pay this money? Now, to the Amanda Buckley Educational Foundation, the foundation that sends all sociology students through college. And I believe the law says if a jury of people should find that any criminal act has been committed by any statement made in the letters I will read to you, then the people's damages are 3 times the judgment. The first letter I read to you is written 1/12/2008. Lisa Madigan, Attorney General of the State of Illinois, 100 West Randolph Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60601, 500 South 2nd Street, Springfield, Illinois, 60601. Reason: First of America Bank, National City Bank, First National Bank in Champaign, file number 2007-CONSC-002-01686. Consciousness. This complaint against the National Bank was received by the Controller of Currency on the date of March 9th, 1992. This complaint was then issued the file number of 10418 and a letter signed Consumer Complaint Specialist Geraldine Mackey, agent for the Controller of Currency. That this official complaint is now 16 years old and is herein after referred to as this original complaint. That this original complaint, in the first paragraph of this original complaint, it is stated, this complaint is based upon the Federal Criminal Code and Rules, Section 1005, Bank Entries, Reports, and Transactions, Sections 1004, Certification of Checks, Section 1343, Fraud by Wire, Radio, or Television. The last complaint was dated February 5th, 2007, and was also investigated by the Controller of Currency. The last complaint addressed the same issue regarding the same bank as investigated in the original complaint, differing only in name change. That this last complaint investigated by the Controller of Currency argued that the selling of my particular account sold out of state in 1991 was a gesture of National City Bank to collect a deficiency, and that this judgment is a mere hearsay was an unacceptable answer for me. Having one's constitutional liberties slaughtered and then ignored is an uncomfortable feeling. Most people would have felt knowing that their bank engaged in the actions as affirmed in this 9-page paper, that this complaint was not within our jurisdiction was the crime taken as action by the controller of currency, hereafter known as the controller. I did appreciate the controller's accuracy concerning jurisdiction in regards to U.S. equities, but I believed National City Bank to be within the controller's jurisdiction as the monitors of National Bank. Paraphrase further, it was understood and it was known by the controller that National City Bank sold the real estate, the real property securing the note, to an Illinois resident. And they also knew that the same note was sold to an out-of-state company the same year of 1991. The controller further argued that National City Bank was exempt from any responsibility incurred by First of America in their act of doing business with certain customers at that commonly known business address of 30 Main Street in Champaign, Illinois, despite the federal warnings posted for consumer awareness. The three banks in one will hereafter become the First National Bank in Champaign, the First of America Bank, and National City Bank. Lisa Madigan, in response to this original complaint and this last complaint, has issued from the Attorney General's Office of the State of Illinois the state ID number 2007 CONSC 00201-686 to house all information concerning the public's interest. For clarity and simplicity, file 2007 CONSC 00201-686 will be called consciousness. One part of the Attorney General's argument for accepting this complaint was that they enforce state statutes for the governor of the state of Illinois, and any violations discovered will be punished to the full extent of the law. In my belief, this original complaint and this last complaint has been suppressed, and that suppression has been intentional. The First Amendment gives the people the freedom to speak, and the freedom to be heard. The First Amendment only counts when access to the judicial system is available to you unrestrained and with as equal opportunity as have the attorneys. The concern pressing upon the state of Illinois has to be for the people and for the consideration given to the language written in the 14th Amendment. My personal concern, which has motivated my persistent effort to be heard, was the group silencing of my voice with contempt from governmental and banking officials. The consciousness, according to the files of Lisa Madigan, states, quote, "Your complaint has been received by this office. Additional information is needed to process your complaint. Please fill out and return the enclosed complaint form and include 2 copies of bills, contracts, and correspondence that may be relevant to your complaint." All relevant information was attached to the complaint sent. Please advise as to what other information is needed. The complaint naming the 3 banks in one, as presented in consciousness, contained public evidence of the alterations of a public document. The document needed only to be examined, and the investigation would have been completed. Feeling threatened by a banking official having the power to preempt and invade our homes while ravishing our civil liberties was a huge adjustment that shocked the trust I had in the system. I can only suggest that the public records are inspected and compared to the documents sent for years to be investigated by the Attorney General of the state of Illinois. Perhaps within the records of the public, sufficient cause for immediate process may be found justified, and with this justification used to stimulate an urgent call for action. The deed filed by the 3 banks in one was defective on its face. The deed was altered, not witnessed, and there was no contract for sale. The buyer beware ad, when it comes to real estate property, necessitates the purchase of title insurance for the private protection of the individual and the public. A defective deed lacks the power of conveyance. Without the power of conveyance, a deed is impotent to convey clear title. The three banks in one filed a deed with the Recorder of Deeds on October 16, 1990, stating Gloria J. Clay had conveyed by warranty deed a parcel of real estate property to them for some consideration, and this property was free and clear of all liens. That the above statement is a false statement, and was never any kind of consideration given in reference to the three banks in one's adverse possession of my property. That these three banks in one, as early as August of 1990, had already paid First Federal Savings and Loan Association in my name more than $4,000, and the first mortgage, and on the first mortgage, and this amount credited to their potential buyer's account with First Federal Savings and Loan Association. That these three banks in one, had furthermore hijacked my tenant and kidnapped his $500 per month rent upon the authority of their ownership claimed by the bank. The deed was filed October 15, 1990, 8 weeks after money was paid to First Federal Savings and Loan Association out of my home equity account and charged to me. This payment of $4,000 went also to pay the bank's potentially chosen buyer's first mortgage. And this payment due on the first mortgage, which was given to First Federal Loan and Savings Association by the three banks in one, and they gave it until 1991, April, in the amount of $384 per month. The warranty deed with the file